Oh, yeah.
Hey, little lady. You know you're hanging out with my grandson, but let me show you how a real man presses apples.
And we're sure that he didn't have like something in his eye or anything like that.
No, because he put his hand on my leg and kind of caressed my knee, and I wasn't reading into it because it just was super uncomfortable, and he didn't need to do that.
I will make one prediction and one prediction only about the second date update today. The guy on the phone that wants to do a second date update owns a really bad leather jacket.
Really?
What?
That is my guess. Why do I say that? Because his email says that he met the girl that he wants us to call today at a dating mixer for one of those groups that puts together, come get drinks at a bar. Every time I've been to one of those or seen one of those, always a bunch of dudes wearing bad leather jackets.
Yeah.
Nick, do you own a bad leather jacket?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really?
Do you really?
I do, but I haven't worn it in a while, but yeah.
Sure.
That's awesome.
So your email says that you met the girl you want to call today at a dating mixer. Have you been a part of this group for a while, or is this a new thing for you?
It's a new thing to me. I've been dating a girl for about 2 years. We broke up before the summer, so I haven't been single for a while. And the idea of a friend was do it. So I was like, okay.
And were you nervous going into it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Was it like a speed dating thing, or was it just hang out at a bar and try to hit on all the girls there thing?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like throwing a bunch of sharks and then little minnows.
Isn't that just like a normal Friday night, though?
Yeah, it's just different with those things because, like I said, the leather jackets.
Okay, I see.
So you saw your minnow. Her name is Christine, and you started talking to her. What did you like about Christine so much?
Well, we figured out that we're both 80s kids. We were both born in '84. So we had that kind of shared mentality as far as all that nostalgia and those inside jokes.
You were both the year of the dragon, and it just drew you together.
Yeah. We both grew up on Nickelodeon. We spent about 30 minutes just singing theme songs to 80s TV shows.
All right.
It was hilarious.
So you were like, I like Webster, and she was like, I liked Webster too, and then you guys bonded. That's cool.
Right, absolutely.
People in 85 just would not have gotten that.
Yeah. So what did you do? Did you guys just meet that night, and now she's not calling you back, or did you actually go do a date? Because it just said in your email that you met her at this mixer, and she hasn't called you. Did you guys go out?
Yeah, we went out once. My grandpa has an apple orchard out in Central Washington, so I took her out there.
Well, that's a huge date. That's a lot of time to spend together.
Well, we mixed it up. We talked a lot and connected, and I showed her, we have a lot of people there that work out there and just family in general. So
I feel like that's a really good date, Nick. Because it's kind of cool. It's different. You take her to an apple orchard. Girls like doing things like that, and pumpkin patches and farms. They dig that kind of thing. And then also, it makes her think maybe there's some family money involved because you can buy all that land. Multiple levels of a great idea there, Nick. I love it.
Not the first thing.
Joke's on her.
Not a lot of money. All right. So did she seem to like the apple orchard?
I thought so. I thought we really connected. I kind of explained to her I used to hang out there a lot when I was a kid, and just had a lot of memories there. And she seemed to get a lot of good feedback as far as the conversations that we were having, just the upbringing that we both had.
Did she seem to enjoy herself?
I think so. I felt like she did. It ended really well, and I made her dinner and everything, and she really enjoyed it. And I took her home. The only thing that got me was I dropped her off. It didn't give a good night kiss or anything, but that's I'm a gentleman, so I didn't want to try to push it too hard. But we hugged, and then she said she would call me back. So I tried to reach out to her, text and whatnot. I feel like she's kind of dodging me.
Have you heard anything from her at all?
I'll text her. She won't answer the call, so I don't want to call too much. And so I'll text her and be like, hey, you want to go grab a bite to eat or something? And she'll be like, oh, I got an appointment. Or sometimes she won't even respond, but more often than not, she's always busy.
Seems like she's trying to avoid you.
That's what it feels like.
Is there anything that happened at all on your date or in your conversations that you could think of that might have turned her off?
I don't know, man. I can't. I literally have been thinking about it because she's just so cool, and I really want to.
Yeah.
If I did do something messed up, I want to try to redeem myself.
All right. Well, play a song. Come back. Get her on the phone and get your second date update. Okay.
Okay.
All right, man. Hang on.
92.5.
Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Nick is on the phone with us. Today he wants us to call a girl named Christine that he met at a singles mixer. Their date included them going to an apple orchard, his family's apple orchard, and picking apples and, having a good time. He said everything was cool until she seemed a little standoffish at the end. Nick, I think I know what your problem is.
What's up?
Too much too soon, I think. You know what I mean? Like, you never want to show a chick your apples that early. Like, you got to wait before you show her your apples. You know what I mean?
Is that like third date material?
I always wait till a third date before I let anybody see my apples. And even then, it's with a picture text, not actually in person. But what I mean by too much too soon, though, I think taking her, like, in a couple-hour drive to your family's orchard to pick apples with your family and stuff might be a little too much for a first date. So maybe she just thought you were too serious too quick, or you were going to get too serious. You know what I mean?
And I thought about that, but my I don't know, man. Like, my family it's just my grandpa and like my cousins and stuff.
And you told her that's what you guys were going to do. It wasn't a surprise that day, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
So she agreed to it. I don't know.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to call her right now, see if we can get her on the phone and find out if something went wrong, okay?
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, can I speak to Christine, please?
Yeah, this is her.
Hey, Christine, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. How are you?
I'm good. Are you sure you have the right number?
I'm pretty sure I have the right number. Did you recently go out with a guy named Nick?
Yeah.
Then this is the Christine that I want to talk to.
Okay. What's going on?
I'm calling you because Nick emailed us to see if we could get you on the phone and ask why you're not calling him back.
What?
It's a segment we do on our show called the Second Date Update. Nick said he liked you a lot. He enjoyed your date. He thought you guys clicked very well, but apparently he's been trying to get a hold of you and you're kind of avoiding him, and you wanted to see if he did something wrong.
So you want me to tell you about, like, my personal, like, what happened on a date?
I don't necessarily need you to get into your personal stuff if you're uncomfortable with that, but I would like to know if there's a particular reason that you're not calling Nick back.
I'm so confused about what's going on. I'm at work right now.
Okay.
It was a good date.
Sorry.
That's all I have to say.
So you had fun on the date.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, then are you planning on calling him back? Because he'd like to know.
I mean, probably not.
And why is that? I know you're at work, and I'll get you off the phone quickly here. I appreciate you staying on with us and being honest. But if he was such a great guy and you enjoyed the date, why don't you want to see him again?
It was just kind of a weird thing that happened on our date, and I don't know if I want to talk about it, and maybe we just go our separate ways and everything's happier and easier.
Do you think talking about it could at least help Nick in the future? You might not want to see him again, but with other girls that he goes out with?
Like constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just maybe wouldn't take another girl to the apple orchard.
So that was really bad, like the whole experience at the apple orchard?
I mean, I just had a weird, encounter with his grandfather.
You had a weird encounter with his grandfather?
Yes.
How so?
I mean, can we just tell him that and then go on our merry way?
I don't know. I mean, is his grandpa just a weird dude? Do you think Nick would know that?
So Nick had to take a call, and maybe I'm reading it weird. I don't know. But then I was left alone with his grandfather, and he just said some kind of inappropriate things. I just felt uncomfortable.
His grandpa's a pervert. Am I reading into that? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I don't care how old the guy is, but if he's like, come with me and I'll show you my apple press, it's just...
Maybe he was literally talking about his apple press.
Yeah, do you know for sure that he was being an old perv? Or was he legitimately talking about an apple press and you took it the wrong way?
No, he said it and winked at me.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, little lady. You know you're hanging out with my grandson, but let me show you how a real man presses apples.
And we're sure that he didn't have like something in his eye or anything like that.
No, because he put his hand on my leg and kind of caressed my knee. And I wasn't reading into it because it just was super uncomfortable, and he didn't need to do that.
All right, I think as a person, you can tell when somebody's starting to like encroach on
Yeah.
your personal space and they're getting a little too handsy, and I guess that's what he was doing. Christine, thank you for being honest. I will let Nick know that his grandpa is a pervert and not to take girls around him anymore. Or you can tell him yourself because Nick's actually on the phone.
What?
Christine? Hey, it's Nick.
Hey, I'm super sorry about what I just said. I just was put in a super uncomfortable situation, and I mean, I don't want to embarrass you, but it was just weird.
But how much are you reading into this? Like, first of all, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you tell
I'm
me
going
when
to
I
be in the
dropped you off?
car and say, your grandpa hit on me.
But then we could have worked it out. I could have told you, because that's just Pop, you know, that's what he does. I mean,
You would have worked it out, and you would have just said, oh, that's fine, that's what he says. And then if we go on another date and you leave me alone with again, I mean, it started with a leg thing, and I don't want it to go any further.
And I understand that. I get that. It's just he's 82 years old, so sometimes he doesn't. Like he's older, so he doesn't think about these things. And I mean,
that's a little inappropriate. I mean, I'm sorry that I said those things about him, but like, what if I took you to like volunteer at a senior citizen center and some lady was like touching you uncomfortably? I don't think that would go over well, and I wouldn't just brush it off.
is this lady your grandma that you would like? Because I would tell you if it was someone you're related to, if it's a random person.
I mean, I just think it's easier if we go our separate ways. I don't want to have to be put in that situation ever again.
Don't you feel like you're blaming him for something that he didn't do?
I mean, I'm not blaming him. I just don't ever want to be in that situation again.
Well, and look, and I get that. Like, here's the deal. I feel like we had a really good connection. I don't know. It's just I don't want to give up on that. And I know that if I just talk to my grandpa and tell him he needs to just cool it and not be like that, just don't be so touchy-feely and just watch what he says, then I don't see why there would be a problem.
Nick, has your grandpa ever hit on any of your dates before?
No, I mean, not
that you know
I had
of.
the same girlfriend for 2 years. I mean, why have the same girlfriend for 2 years? I mean, she didn't hang out with him too much, but she never said anything.
Maybe that's why she left you, for Gramps, and you don't know it. Christine, would you go out with Nick again? We'll pay for a second date. Come on. Nick would love to see you again. I'm sure you can work out the grandpa situation. Look, he's an old guy, and old guys are creeps, all right? Mm-hmm. All of them, every single one. Every single old guy out there is a pervy creep. I can't wait to be one day.
Yeah.
So can you just maybe go out with Nick again and see if you guys can hang out and like each other and get past his grandpa hitting on you? I'm sure it can get better.
I just can't be around him ever again, and I don't know if there's any point in even going out on a second date if, I mean, it leads to anything else. I mean, there'll be weddings and babies, and I just don't want his grandpa around, and I don't want to put Nick in a bad spot.
You know how many of your bridesmaids he could hit on, though, if you guys are getting married?
So my friends
I just
can
want to
be
do a
subject
second
to
date.
it.
I'm not planning for a wedding yet.
Yeah.
Well, I am. I mean, I'm not getting younger. I don't want to waste my time.
So you're thinking about guys that you go out with, you're thinking about a future, and you don't see a future with Nick because his grandpa is a creepy old man.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Wow.
So funny.
Well, Christine, thank you very much for your time. Nick, I'm sorry, no second date for you, man.
Well, thanks, guys.
But Christine, I would love to pay for a second date with you and Nick's grandpa if you're interested in that one.
Yeah.